dark suits over there. You might want to ease up on Mr. Obama a little bit. Let him score every now and again. The end of the story is a year later, Carolina wins the title. Obama's now the president. Carolina goes to the White House. And when President Obama is meeting all the players, when Jack Wooten, it's his turn to meet him, shakes his hand, and hands him a resume. How good is that?
Did he get a job?
I don't know. A for effort, though, Jack. Hope you're watching tonight.
The picture in the upper right was Tyler Hansbrough trying to block the president shot. Good play by Cam Johnson. To stand in front of Jack White and picking up the charge. Mike Krzyzewski doesn't like it, but North Carolina's done most everything right in this game. And it seems that Duke emotionally has not recovered from Zion Williamson going out in the first 33 seconds. And Carolina has taken great advantage of it.
Duke shooting just 36% of the night, and they've committed 15 turnovers. A block by Reddish. Open is Barrett for three.
No offensive rebounding at all for Duke. Essentially 1 and out.
Very little touch from three-point range. 5 of 28. Cutting again is Johnson. He moved well with that ball.
Cam Johnson does everything well. The transfer from the University of Pittsburgh. Just an outstanding player. Very skilled and has been very well coached.
Now Carolina's depth a little down tonight. Still out with injury. Sterling Manley, a big man, Leaky Black. They're without both of them, so the rotation a little bit tighter for Roy Williams.
Keeping the floor spread and going right over the top. Well, there's nobody down in the low post. North Carolina not running many of their box sets, which can keep the lane clogged a little bit. They're just spreading Duke out and taking advantage of cutting lanes.
Reddish at three. And is Duke going to have to shoot their way back into this from beyond the arc, even though it's gone so poorly tonight? How many good passes have the Tar Heels made tonight?
Well, Seventh Woods got it all the way to the rim, passed it underneath, and then right back to Luke May, who was there for the easy shot, 5 feet away. But it was all started by the initial push by Seventh Woods, who got essentially all the way to the rim, passed an excellent defender in Trey Jones, and a great pass by Cam Johnson. This is an excellent passing team, and it is fun to watch them pass the ball. Very unselfish.
Luke May down with his 11th rebound of the night to go with 28 points. Duke ball.
Trey Jones got a hand on it, but still North Carolina able to get it to the rim with the pass advance up the left side of the floor.
A little bit more rim protection now for Duke is Marquise Bolden, who was in some foul trouble in the first half. He comes back into the game for the Blue Devils.
But the question is, Marquise Bolden is really going to have to guard out on the perimeter, because right now Luke May playing the 5.
Barrett driving on Williams, draws the foul.
Even though he got fouled, everybody from North Carolina able to rally to the ball, because the only shooter that North Carolina is worried about right now is Cam Reddish.
Rivalry week rolls on Saturday with a couple more great matchups here on ESPN. It begins with Tennessee and LSU in a big-time SEC matchup at noon Eastern. And then game day, and the gang will be up at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse. It'll be Duke taking on the Orange. Remember, Syracuse won here, 95-91 in overtime a few weeks ago. No Reddish and very little Jones after an early injury in that game. If Carolina wins this game tonight, Mr. Billis, we'll have 3 teams at 11-2 atop the league standings.
Just when you think you've seen everything in basketball, you see Zion Williamson go out after 33 seconds in this game. A blown shoe and an injured right knee. Never seen anything like it.
What a move by R.J. Barrett. If they're going to win this game, and you talked about Reddish a lot, those two guys, Reddish and Barrett, are going to have to carry them.
Well, there's plenty of time but North Carolina is able to answer every time. And North Carolina's baskets are easier than Duke's. They are scoring easily.
O'Connell off the screen. Floater. He's fouled. And this is another potential option for offense for Duke. O'Connell's not shooting the ball as well this year as he did last year when he made almost 50% of his threes. But on any given night, he could heat up. He's got a good shooting stroke.
Well, he had 16 points against Syracuse in that game where Trey Jones was injured, Cam Reddish unable to play. But coming into this game, he'd only scored 15 points in the 9 games since the Syracuse game.
1 of 2 from the line, and it's still a 14-point lead. Carolina with 50 of their 69 points in the paint and make it 52 out of 71.
But how easy is that? Getting all the way to the rim, scoring with the left hand. There's no resistance.
And how much of that is no Zion Williamson?
Well, that's a big factor. But I think part of it is, I think Duke just looked shell-shocked after losing Williamson. Just totally shell-shocked.
Another turnover. That's been another problem for them tonight. Jones hustles back, but it bounces to Robinson. Another good pass, and a foul on Bolden.
Well, Seventh Woods, third on this team in assists. Had 9 points in the last ball game against Pats. Trey Jones gets all the way to the rim with ease. And just late getting over that, even if there'd been no rotation down, he could have laid that off to Garrison Brooks for an easy dunk. He had whatever he wanted.
Delorier and White back in for Duke. May replaces Johnson for Carolina. Reddish sits down, probably just to get a breakthrough to the under 8 timeout. So even fewer scoring options on the court right now for Blue Devils.
Well, there's a lot of time left in this game, but you just wonder where the points are going to come from.
White almost had it, but kept it alive, and O'Connell's got it.
North Carolina can put so many bodies into the game.
Rebound Brooks. Driving is Woods, playing with a lot of confidence, isn't he?
But he stops the ball. Just a rebound by Garrison Brooks, an outlet pass, and then Seventh Woods gets it all the way to the rim with nobody stopping him.
Roy Williams getting good minutes out of his backup guards with Kobe White on the bench. Jones is wide open again, but another miss. Barrett with a putback.
RJ Barrett just does it all.
Barrett with the ball. He's got 25 points, 9 rebounds tonight. Nice look to White, who still can't get one to go, but a save by Delorier. And White called for another offensive foul.
Jack White couldn't get the initial three-pointer to fall, then takes the second opportunity to the basket. And then Seventh Woods making another good play. First on offense, then on defense. Woods off the bench has been an impact player for Carolina.
Oh, brewers of Miller Lite, we received your corn syrup by mistake.
That's not our corn syrup. We received our shipment this morning. Try the Coors Light Castle.
Coors Light Castle, guys.
Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup.
Check this out.
Butterfinger?
It's a better Butterfinger.
An improved recipe with high-quality jumbo peanuts. Better crispity, crunchity, and peanut buttery.
Better Butterfinger.
Nobody lays a finger on my better Butterfinger.
Butterfinger, now better than ever.
TGI Fridays Big Ribs. Bigger, bolder, meatier. Just $12.99 for a full rack and 2 sides. TGI Fridays, where every night the apps are endless.
lost for Duke and seeks redemption. The rematch in a sold-out Carrier Dome. Number 1 Duke, Syracuse, Saturday at 6 on ESPN.
My son forgot his cleats. Then my combo meal gave me the heartburn blues. Rolaids made it all nice.
Rolaids starts working as fast as now, so you can take control of even your worst heartburn. Get your groove back with Rolaids.
Dry mouth can really affect how your mouth feels and how you feel. Act Dry Mouth's sugar-free lozenges, specially formulated to soothe and moisturize your dry mouth so nothing holds you back. Now available in sugar-free gum.
Streaming app you'll ever want. Watch your favorite shows and movies pretty much anywhere, so get comfortable. Download the new Fios TV app. Get the most out of Fios.
Let's take a look at our Sonic Blockbuster feature inside the Duke-Carolina rivalry. Since 1980-81, Mike Krzyzewski, 46-44 Duke. The 149th consecutive game with at least one of them ranked. This goes back to 1960. And between the two programs, at least one of them has played in 24 of the last 38 Final Fours, with 10 of them ending with one of these programs winning the national championship.
What other rivalry in any sport can boast that kind of championship pedigree and consistency at the highest level? It's really remarkable when you look at all these different numbers and the fact they're only a few points apart leading into this game.
May no rebound O'Connell. 17-point deficit for the Blue Devils, 7 minutes to go. Reddish back in for Duke.
North Carolina defense needs to load up on both Barrett and Reddish.
Barrett had to switch hands. Delorier ripped it away, but it winds up with Williams.
Brooks kept with it.
Robinson over the top to Brooks.
North Carolina getting everything in the paint. They rush the ball up the court and attack the paint. And Duke has been incapable of stopping the targets.
18 assists on the night for the Dukes.
In transition, whether it's Kobe White, whether it's Seventh Woods, and a good little dribble drive by Brandon Robinson, able to launch it up with no pressure on him, nobody to protect the rim, and Garrison Brooks with the easy one. And easy has been the operative word for North Carolina's shots in this game, because they have done such a good job passing, such a good job running, and such a good job of limiting Duke to one shot. Carolina has gotten easy basket after easy basket. But to get something easy, you have to work hard for it. And Carolina has not only outplayed Duke, they've outworked them.
28-12 now for Luke May. Kobe White, who grew up a Duke fan, a freshman at Carolina, says his favorite moment of the Duke Carolina rivalry was Austin Rivers making that game-winning shot for the Blue Devils in Chapel Hill. And on cue, he turns it over, and Delorier will get an easy one.
Well, trying to split two defenders, just too difficult. Wound up turning it over.
Almost did it again. On a traffic. But May just never loses his composure, never rushes. Crossover, blocked by Barrett, saved it. Delorier dives for it, and here comes Reddish. Offensive foul, Reddish knocking down Kenny Williams.
Well, Kenny Williams is such a good defender. That was an alert play when he saw that Reddish was coming at him in a diagonal. He just stood right in, took the charge, 2 feet on the floor, facing the ball handler. That was just excellent defense by Kenny Williams.
Jay, 18 turnovers for Duke. How many of them have been charges? At least 5?
5, 6, something like that, yeah.
Jordan Goldwire comes up with a steal. Kenny Williams takes it right back. 19 Duke turnovers, and now Delorier is down injured.
Did he run into the elbow of Seventh Woods? Looks like Woods is looking at that left elbow of his. And I didn't see whether he ran into it or whether he was swinging. He's cut over that left eye.
So they're going to have to get him out.
And the referees are going to go look at it.
And the left elbow came up and back from Seventh Woods.
I don't know if you can call that flagrant, if it's just going to be called incidental. It doesn't look like well, maybe. I don't know how that's going to be processed.
There was no call on the play, right? Just the whistle because of the injury.
Exactly, no call. See the reach. That's going to be a difficult one for the officials to process. They could go either way on this.
Meaning either nothing or a flagrant one.
Exactly. Like, are you going to process that left arm as going back as sort of a natural move of somebody running? Or are you going to say that, no, he's trying to ward off a defender?
Mike Eads, Ron Gruber, Brian Dorsey, the officials.
Now, did they call a foul on Delorier?
Well, they did, yes.
They called a foul on Delorier, and that's what stopped the play. So are they gonna put an F1, a flagrant one, on Seventh Woods? So here's the reach, and that's the foul that was called, the common foul. If it's taken this long, they're going to call an F1. They're not taking this long to say, hey, there's nothing there. We're just going to go with the foul on Delorier. I think they're going to wind up calling an F1 here on Seventh Woods.
We should get word momentarily. It looks like they have made their decision. Waiting for the word to get passed up to us here from the Crow's Nest. So I believe we just heard the common foul stands on Delorier, and they have added a flagrant one to Seventh Woods. So that's the 7th on Duke. So it should be, I guess, 1-1 for Duke, and then, 1-1 for Carolina, and then 2 in the ball for Duke because of the F1 is the way I'm guessing this will go.
Yeah, and that was a difficult call to process, and I have no problem with it. This is taking way too long. There's no reason to go over and explain this to everybody. F1, free throws, let's go. This has to change. You just take too much air out of the building. And this is a five-minute episode.
So Woods will be at the free throw line alone for Carolina. Again, because Carolina is going to get free throws after this. You don't need anybody in the lane. It's not going to be a live ball situation. And this will be 1-1 for Seventh Woods. And Mike Eads and Ron Gruber still talking something over near the monitor.
They're trying to figure out who's going to shoot the free throws. They know who's shooting for North Carolina. Who's going to shoot them for Duke?
And look at a summary of tonight's game. 2 big scores on each team. They combined for 99 of the 135. Again, no Zion Williamson after the first 33 seconds for Duke tonight, leading with an knee injury. And so Woods misses the front end of the 1-1. And now it'll be 2 in the ball for Duke, and it'll be Jack White going to the line for the Blue Devils. Free throw shooter on the season. And the looks like just underneath the left eye for Deloria. Look at Duke ball.
Looks like he's got one just over the eye, too. The left eyelid.
Reddish barely grazes the rim, and rebound number 13 for Luke May.
Jordan Goldwire, who did such a good job toward the end of the game with that epic comeback at Louisville, into the game to try to make something happen defensively. Now he's wound up on a switch guarding Luke May. Line ought to go to May right now. The switch back, now Reddish is on.
Williams finds May, who banks it home with the left hand to give him 30 on the night.
Just a spectacular pass by Kenny Williams. A baseline drive, nobody rotated over, just a shovel pass right to Luke May. And May is having himself some kind of night.
Jones knows.
It's been 1 and out. When was the last time Duke got an offensive rebound? Seems like forever.
May another touch. The reverse not there.
He didn't make it, but that was about as easy as it gets. Got all the way to the other side of the bucket.
Again, with no Williamson and limited minutes for Bolden tonight. Not as much rim protection, not anywhere near the rim protection that the Blue Devils were hoping for tonight. Less than 4 minutes to go, and it's Luke May leading the way for North Carolina as they're up 17 late in this one.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Wendy's new Made to Crave menu, available at participating restaurants now, and the United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Please, sir, can I have some less?
Chobani less sugar, miss.
Less sugar Greek yogurt from Chobani.
Seriously, what is this? New Listerine-ready tabs aren't gum, mints, or marbles. If you guessed they're tabs that turn into liquid as you chew, so you can swish and clean your whole mouth instantly, then you were correct. And that was a really good guess. Nice job.
We're not famous. We're just a small Georgia town of complete unknowns. Because we are not known for who we are, we hope to be known for what we do. No, we are not famous, but we are incredible, and we make incredible things.
We found the hidden world, the home of all dragons. Look, you're not the only one.
The light here. Did he just disappear?
I will destroy every last dragon.
We have to protect the hidden world, or there won't be any dragons left. We need her. We have one shot at this.
How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, rated PG.
I'm Captain Obvious, and Hotels.com rewards me basically everywhere I stay. So why am I stomping grapes with aerobics enthusiasts near this B&B? Or doing goat yoga at this mountain resort? Or treating a destination wedding to the sweet sound of pug bongos? Because Hotels.com lets me do me. Where are my dogs at? Oh, here they are. Hotels.com. You do you and get rewarded. Take it away, Henry.
Really thought we'd be focusing on the final 33 seconds, not the first 33. Steve Levy, John Anderson, SportsCenter coming up. We'll hear from Coach K.
And we'll hear all the questions from him, plus our experts break down what it means for Duke moving forward. SportsCenter after the game.
All right, fellas, thank you very much. Yeah, there was no way to see what was coming here tonight. Really, the most significant moment of the game came 33 seconds into the game. The slip there by Williamson, injuring his right knee, destroying his left shoe, And then look to your right there, to President Obama saying his shoe broke. As the shoe just exploded, and it was the slip, and ultimately, of course, the knee injury is much more significant. Although nobody's ever seen a shoe explode like that before, it's noteworthy. But the injury is the significant thing, and all we have been told, Jay, knee injury, we're told at halftime, would not return. We don't know anything about the severity or the nature of the injury, but obviously it is a game changer on the national landscape if this is any kind of a long-term injury for Zion Williams.
Losing the presumptive national player of the year, at least to this point. The guy averaging 24.5 points, just under 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, shooting 70% in ACC games. Just an incredible happening in this game. Against Syracuse in this building, we saw Trey Jones go down the first 4 minutes with a shoulder injury. Cam Reddish not able to play in that game at all, so down 2 starters. And Syracuse able to win that game in overtime. And in just 33 seconds, Duke loses arguably the best player in the country in Zion Williamson, and really never was able to recover. And North Carolina just knocked them back and punched them, and they couldn't get up off the deck.
Huge night for Luke May. Duke made a little run towards the end of the first half, got within 5, and as you said at the time, Duke did not handle the last 90 seconds or so of the first half well at all.
Carolina handled it great.
Yes, and went into the halftime leading by 10, and then just stormed out of the break and got it up over 20 quickly.
Every time Duke made a steal, got a turnover, Carolina was able to take it back from them. Just a remarkable happening. It seemed like it happened every time.
The last time that North Carolina played a #1 Duke team here was 2006. And Carolina won that game too. Tyler Hansbrough was on the team at a big night, 27-10.
Tyler Hansbrough never lost in this building.
Isn't that crazy? A block by White. A run out for Barrett. Euro step, and he's fouled. Barrett and Reddish have 51 of the 63 points for Duke tonight. Tough games still coming for both of these programs. Let's look at the Duke schedule. As we mentioned, on Saturday, they're going to be able to carry them to take on Syracuse, fresh off a big win over Louisville tonight. Going to Blacksburg is no picnic. They'll play Miami, Wake, and then finish the regular season in Chapel Hill.
And the big question is, will Zion Williamson be able to play?
Goldwire had it, lost it, got it again, and then ultimately loses it a second time to Johnson. He's trying to step up the pressure, force some turnovers, and they will. A 10-second call.
It was a tremendous personnel and emotional hurdle for Duke to get over after losing Zion Williamson. But give credit to North Carolina for the way the Tar Heels played, and also the fact that Duke had a lot of open shots and unable to make them.
Mike Krzyzewski called a timeout as soon as Reddish made that bucket. It's still a 13-point lead for Carolina and just 2:44 to play.
So it's every day. It's something different when you have 5 guys working together. You know, the fact that you have a starting 5, it's no different than basketball. Being the coach, sometimes I don't realize that Fritzy's being a crybaby, or that McLevin needs attention, or Paulie has to be the smartest guy in the room. You know, so you just kind of have a checklist here every single day, and you take inventory. But at the end of the day, you hope that you won. And that's what it comes down to. Did you win?
See more at ContinentalBball.com.
Coming up next, Sports Center with Steve Levy and John Anderson. A full breakdown of this game with reactions from both head coaches. Rachel Nichols in conversation with Kyrie Irving, and the latest on Bryce Harper now that Manny Machado was signed. Sports Center next on ESPN and on the ESPN app.
Duke bringing full court pressure. with 2:44 to go. There's still time in this one. Now, North Carolina doesn't feel like they should be challenged, but there's still time.
One of the reasons Carolina has scored 80 points and done so well tonight, just some pinpoint passing on many occasions.
Well, this is an outstanding passing team that is very unselfish. They average 20 assists per game. That leads the ACC, one of the tops in the nation. They look for one another, and they are willing passers. They push the ball up court well, quickly, and they are willing to give it up when a teammate has a better shot. And North Carolina averages 85, 86 points a game. Duke does as well. But Carolina able to play to their average. And Carolina turned the ball over in this game, too. They have 14 turnovers.
7 different Tar Heels have combined for those 19 assists tonight. Now the Heels will try to get it in again. Still have 2 timeouts. Trying to get it to White. Instead, it'll be Williams. The trap. And they get it over. And turn it over.
A great back tip by Goldwire.
Barrett, no. Maybe the 10-point game instead. Johnson with the rebound. And he comes out of there. It's a 4-on-1 for Carolina. And the layup will go for Williams.
Boy, what a turnaround. Barrett gets that 3 to go. It's a different feeling, and Carolina just takes advantage of the miss and gets a bucket on the other end.
Well, the goal line is short on the 3, and May down with his 14th rebound.
Those 2 misses, that could be the ball game.
Someone for Johnson, weak side rebound for Brooks, who's had a really nice night for North Carolina.
Smart play to use clock.
And a chance for a 3-point play, and that should just about do it, to say the least, as Johnson gets to the rim easily.
Every time Duke is threatened, and not that trying to get it under 13 is necessarily a major threat, but every time Duke is threatened, Carolina has had the answer, and the answer has been an easy bucket at the rim. How many times has Carolina laid it in? I mean, the points in the paint without dominant big guys to throw it to have been really remarkable.
62 points in the paint tonight for North Carolina.
Absolutely remarkable. Who would have imagined that Duke, a 9.5-point favorite coming into this game, would have given up over 60 points in the paint? Now, big difference, Zion Williamson not in the game, but still, give North Carolina credit.
Again, a win for Carolina, then they and Duke and Virginia would all be 11-2 in ACC play. Next game for Carolina is against Florida State on the weekend. The Seminoles are playing really well right now.
Florida State's won, what, 8 in a row?
Yep. In conference. Carolina then hosts Syracuse. They'll go to Clemson and BC. And then, of course, the return matchup with the Blue Devils at the Dean Dome on the 9th of March.
Well, the experience of North Carolina was a huge factor in this game. Luke May, Cameron Johnson, Kenny Williams. We saw the experience of those players win out.
Off the fingertips of Jones out of bounds. A 17-point difference in this game right now. Here are the largest losses for Duke since Mike Krzyzewski took over. All 3 of them happen to be to North Carolina. Again, this is home losses. And this one is kind of in that neighborhood right now. Good patience. No need to put a shot up if you don't have to. Johnson finally will. Well, he makes it look easy sometimes.
He is such an outstanding player. He and Luke May were absolutely spectacular in this one. Luke May, 30 points, 14 rebounds. Cam Johnson, 26 points, 7 rebounds. They were absolutely terrific from start to finish. Cam Johnson, the transfer from Pittsburgh. A guy that you cannot let shoot the ball from the catch spot. He did it on the defensive end, staying in front of R.J. Barrett. Rebounded, ran in transition, and then was able to get all the way to the rim with the one-handed finish with the right hand. And then put the ball on the deck and rising up, landing in the same spot from which he took off. Just a beautiful jump shot and a fantastic player.
And remember, rolled that left ankle, had to come out, took the shoe off, got taped up, came back in, and put up these numbers.
Yeah, this guy sees Duke blue like a bull sees red. That's pretty impressive the way he's played in these games.
And look at the Saturday schedule on ESPN. It begins with a big one in the SEC, number 5, Tennessee, number 13, and LSU. Tigers are good. 2 o'clock, Ohio State in Maryland. Virginia Tech is in South Bend at 4. We'll all be at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse to see the Orange and the Blue Devils at 6. And then a big one in the Big 12, Kansas and Texas Tech, as President Obama takes his leave here tonight, makes his way out of Cameron. Do a lot of handshaking on the way out. Big basketball fan. And lefty. Brooks has had a terrific game. 14 points, 8 rebounds tonight for the Heat.
Yeah, he's been so strong. He's played very well in ACC play. Rebounded very well. He's such an excellent defender. Always in good position, both on his man and then help side. I think 7 or 8 times he's won the Defensive Player of the Game award for North Carolina, the way they grade out their defenders.
And he's won it more than any other player on the team, 7 times this year.
Second on the team in rebounding. Had a terrific second half against Virginia last week at 12 points and 8 rebounds.
And Johnson limping noticeably now as he's taken out of the game. Must have aggravated that ankle a little bit on that last possession. White down for the rebound. And North Carolina will pick up a win here in Cameron.
Carolina showed a lot of toughness in this game. And the story is going to be Zion Williamson going out with 33 seconds and his knee injury. Going to give North Carolina credit for an outstanding performance on the road to beat Duke by 16 in this building.
And they will check the shot clock violation and turn it over for one last time for Duke. Roy Williams clapping on the Carolina sideline right now. A big win for the Tar Heels. They knock off number 1 tonight, albeit without Zion Williamson. But as Jay mentioned, a very impressive performance for the Heels. And look at the jubilation for the seniors. They go out with a victory. And what a job those seniors did tonight for the Heels. The final score from Durham, North Carolina 88 and Duke 72. As the Tar Heels beat the Blue Devils here tonight. Sports Center is coming up next. For Jay Billis, Maria Taylor, and our crew, I'm Dan Shulman saying thanks for watching and so long from Cameron Indoor. We're coming back in a moment, but first, let's send you to Sports Center.
The ESPN app now with ESPN Plus. Get more ESPN and download now. This is Sports Center at night.
So I've heard. A stunning start seconds into the game. Zion Williamson injured. Duke star status in question. Live with the latest, which includes Coach K. Unforgettable dunks, buzzer-beating finishes. From Stackhouse to Rivers to Hansbrough, the greatest moments from Duke UNC's rivalry. And one-on-one with Kyrie Irving on his trying season in Boston. And what he learned from his phone call to LeBron. Sports Center's now.
Still got to play some defense. Jesus.
There you go. Okay, so you're out camping in a tent for days and days and days.
Chefskyville.
Just to watch Zion Williamson walk into the locker room.
Yes. Welcome to Sports Center with John Anderson. I'm Steve Levy. And we had a special lead up to this game, wall-to-wall coverage.
Yes.
And then it happened. Let's take a look at how the night all started. It was filled with anticipation. Zion Williamson and Duke hosting North Carolina. The fans at Cameron Indoor, they're ready to blow the roof off the place. President Obama in the house. Zion himself was fired up. Look at this. 360 bam pregame, ready to put on a show. And then the first possession of the game. 33 ticks in. Turns in the paint, falls awkwardly. Play continues. Luke Mays gives it up to Cam Johnson, but all eyes and all the attention on Zion Williams. Just watch. Plants hard to the left. Foot gives out. Foot goes through the sneaker. The sneaker didn't come off. He went through the sneaker. And he grabs his right knee.
What do you all think about Kentucky? Kentucky's dope. I like the colors. Who is asking these questions? Who's like, dog, like, they asking like I teach you something like I'm your dad. Like, yo. When am I committing?